An empowered life has no expiration date. We're all created to do incredible things, like conquer summits, catch big waves, and live our passions. As time goes on, our bodies begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy levels decline, sleep patterns shift, and recovery slows. But our bodies are masterpieces of design, holding the potential to bounce back better than ever. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHKCU, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality, enhancing the body's flow of natural energy. For improvements in strength, stamina, performance, and overall health and well-being. With the simplicity of an affordable, non-invasive, non-transdermal patch. As we age, levels of these life-enhancing elements, which are associated with wellness and longevity, begin to decline. LifeWave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents. X39 was born to bring to the public a product that can support wellness in an entirely new way, supporting the production of younger, healthier cells with wearable light technology. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. Harness your body's natural potential to maintain youthful energy and vitality, because life comes at you fast, but it doesn't have to pass you by. Live long, live well, live young. Be the light with LifeWave X39. LifeWave.
Just like a healthy body depends on good circulation, a prosperous life requires a healthy flow of money.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about how much money you have, but how freely it moves in and out of your life.
Exactly. And Barker goes deeper by suggesting that our beliefs about money, particularly any negative ones, can create blockages in that flow.
Interesting. So like if you believe money is evil or that rich people are greedy,
Right.
that could actually be repelling money from your life.
That's what Barker argues.
Wow.
He even tells a story about people who seek financial help but then refuse offers of abundance. Their subconscious beliefs sabotage their efforts.
So are we talking about those self-sabotaging patterns we sometimes fall into? Is that what he means by subconscious patterns?
Exactly. Barker believes that our subconscious minds often operate on outdated beliefs and patterns that we may not even be aware of.
Right.
These patterns can create a sort of ceiling on our financial potential, keeping us stuck at a certain income level, even if we consciously desire more.
So even if we're working hard and trying to attract more wealth, these subconscious patterns could be working against us. That's a bit unsettling, isn't it?
It can be, but it also empowers us to take control. If we can identify and change those limiting beliefs, we can open ourselves up to greater abundance.
Okay, but how do we even begin to identify those subconscious beliefs?
Yeah.
Subconscious, right? So by definition, we're not aware of them.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Barker uses the analogy of the stock market to illustrate this.
Okay.
He sees the stock market not as something to fear, but as a reflection of the overall economic energy.
You mean how much money is circulating in the system?
Exactly.
Got it.
And he argues that those who have a strong internal conviction about their own worth will always have enough regardless of market fluctuations.
So instead of letting the ups and downs of the stock market dictate our sense of security,
Right.
we should focus on cultivating that unshakable inner knowing that we are worthy of abundance.
Precisely. And this is where those subconscious patterns come into play.
Okay.
If someone consistently struggles financially despite their efforts, it might indicate a subconscious belief that they are not worthy of wealth.
So it's like their internal reality isn't aligned with their desired financial outcome.
Yes, and that misalignment can manifest in their stock market behavior, their spending habits, their career choices, and even their reactions to financial opportunities.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So if we want to change our financial reality, we need to start by examining those deeply held beliefs about money and our own worthiness.
Exactly. It's about aligning our inner world with our desired outer reality.
Okay, so where do we go from here? How do we start to shift those deep-seated beliefs about money?
Well, Barker offers a simple but profound three-step process
Okay.
for what he calls a treatment for money.
A treatment for money.
Yeah.
Now, this I have to hear.
It's about changing our mindset and our energy around money.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's step one?
The first step is to accept money as good.
Wait, accept money is good.
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit contradictory to a lot of spiritual teachings that see money as a source of temptation or even evil?
It might seem that way, but Barker challenges that notion. Okay.
He argues that anything we criticize or reject tends to move out of our lives, while what we love increases.
So by embracing money, we're not endorsing greed or materialism.
Right.
We're simply acknowledging its power as a force for good in the world.
Exactly. It's about seeing money as a neutral tool that can be used for both positive and negative purposes.
Okay.
And by accepting it as good, we open ourselves up to its positive potential.
Okay, that makes sense. So we accept money as good. What's step 2 of this money treatment?
The second step is to release it with joy.
Release it with joy.
Yeah.
Interesting. What does that mean exactly?
It means not clinging to money out of fear or insecurity. It means trusting that there's always enough and allowing it to flow freely through our lives.
So it's about generosity and not being afraid to spend money on things that bring us joy and benefit others.
Precisely, when we release money with joy, we're affirming our trust in the abundance of the universe and creating space for more to flow in.
I love that.
Okay, so we accept money as good. We release it with joy. What's the final step in this treatment?
The third and final step is to believe in its abundance.
Believe in its abundance. Now, this is where things might get a little tricky for some people, right?
It can be a challenge, especially if we've been conditioned to believe in scarcity.
Yeah.
But Barker emphasizes the power of affirmations and visualizations in shifting those deeply held beliefs.
So if we constantly tell ourselves that money is scarce or that we'll never have enough, we're actually reinforcing those limiting beliefs.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if we start to affirm the abundance of money, even if we don't fully believe it at first, we can begin to reprogram our subconscious minds.
It's like we're planting seeds of abundance in our minds, and with time and nurturing, those seeds will grow.
Precisely. And Barker offers a very specific affirmation that can be incredibly powerful in this process.
Okay.
He suggests repeating the phrase, "Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly."
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
But I can see how repeating that with conviction and feeling could start to shift those subconscious beliefs.
The key is to repeat it with feeling, not just as empty words. Visualize yourself receiving that abundance, feel the joy and gratitude, and allow yourself to truly believe it's possible.
So it's about more than just positive thinking. It's about embodying that belief on an emotional and energetic level.
Exactly. It's about aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions with the frequency of abundance.
Okay, so we've got the 3 steps. Accept money as good, release it with joy, and believe in its abundance. But how do we know if we're actually doing it right?
Right.
How do we know if we're on the right track?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
One way to gauge your progress is to pay attention to your emotional state when you think about money.
So if we still feel anxious or stressed about money, it might be a sign that we haven't fully embraced these 3 steps.
It could be, or it could be a sign that there are still some subconscious blocks that need to be addressed.
So what do we do if we encounter those blocks? How do we identify and release them?
That's where things get a little more nuanced, but Barker offers some helpful guidance.
Okay.
He encourages us to first become aware of those blocks.
So start by noticing our thoughts and feelings around money.
Yes. Pay attention to any negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, or fears that come up.
Okay.
Once we've identified those blocks, we can start to challenge and release them.
Okay, so how do we challenge those negative thoughts and beliefs? Do we just tell ourselves to stop thinking them?
It's a bit more involved than that.
Okay.
Barker suggests using affirmations and visualizations to counteract those negative thoughts.
So if we have a thought like, I'll never be able to afford that,
Right.
we could counter it with an affirmation like, I am open to receiving abundance in all forms.
Exactly. And visualize yourself achieving that financial goal. Feel the joy and gratitude as if it's already happened.
So it's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we want to create.
Precisely. It's about aligning our energy with the frequency of abundance.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm still a little skeptical about the whole money is God in action concept. How can we be sure that our beliefs actually have the power to influence our financial reality?
That's a valid question, and I think it's important to approach these concepts with an open mind, but also with a healthy dose of discernment.
So we don't have to blindly accept everything Barker says,
Right.
but we can experiment with his ideas and see what resonates with us.
Exactly. Ultimately, the best way to determine if these principles work is to apply them in your own life and see what results you experience.
Okay, so we're encouraged to be open-minded, but also critical thinkers.
Right.
That makes sense. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm curious about one more thing.
Okay.
Barker seems to emphasize the importance of not criticizing or judging others for their wealth, even if we believe they acquired it for dishonest means.
Right.
Why is that?
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Barker believes that judging others for their wealth,
Right.
even if we perceive it as ill-gotten,
Yeah.
actually reinforces our own sense of lack.
So if we're focused on the perceived injustices of others' financial situations, we're not fully embracing the abundance that's available to us.
Exactly. It's like we're saying there's not enough to go around,
Right.
which contradicts the very principle of abundance that we're trying to cultivate.
Okay, that makes sense. So by focusing on our own relationship with money and releasing any judgments or criticisms of others, we're creating a more positive and receptive energy for abundance to flow into our lives.
Precisely. It's about shifting our focus from scarcity to abundance,
Okay.
from judgment to acceptance,
Yeah.
and from fear to trust.
That's a powerful shift indeed.
It is, and it's a journey that unfolds over time.
Well, this has been a fascinating exploration of Barker's ideas so far. We've covered a lot of ground, from the concept of money as energy to the importance of aligning our internal reality with our desired financial outcomes.
Yeah.
We've also touched on the power of affirmations, visualizations, and releasing judgment to cultivate an energy of abundance.
It's been great.
I'm already feeling my perspective on money shifting.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore some of Barker's more specific techniques for attracting wealth and abundance,
Okay.
including his unique approach to spiritual treatment for financial prosperity.
I'm excited to dive deeper into those techniques.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, get ready for some practical tips and exercises that you can start implementing in your own lives right away.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned, and we'll be back soon with more insights from Raymond Charles Barker's Money is God in Action.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into Raymond Charles Barker's Money is God in Action. We've laid some fascinating groundwork exploring the idea of money as a spiritual energy and how our beliefs can influence its flow. Now let's get into some of Barker's more practical techniques for aligning with abundance.
That's what I'm really curious about. Does he offer specific exercises or practices to help us shift our mindset around money?
Absolutely. Barker provides a detailed treatment for prosperity,
Yeah.
a series of affirmations and visualizations designed to reprogram our subconscious beliefs.
Treatment. I like how he uses that term. It frames the process as almost a healing modality.
It is, in a way. He's addressing the underlying disease of financial lack.
So walk me through this treatment. What's the first step?
It starts with acknowledging the source of all creation. Barker emphasizes that God is the one creative force, the one substance from which everything manifests.
That aligns with a lot of spiritual teachings about the interconnectedness of all things. We're not separate from this universal source of abundance.
Exactly. And then he goes on to affirm that the universe itself is a dynamic, fluid creation,
Okay.
overflowing with God's presence.
So we're essentially tapping into this infinite source of abundance by aligning ourselves with it.
Yes. And the next part of the treatment is where we really start to address our personal relationship with money.
Okay, tell me more. How do we do that?
Barker encourages us to affirm that we abide in prosperity, that we are open and receptive to the flow of money. He emphasizes seeing money as God's idea of circulation, as that vital lifeblood we talked about earlier.
So it's about recognizing that money is a natural part of this abundant universe and that we deserve to participate in that flow.
Exactly. He also emphasizes appreciating money, seeing it as good and wholesome, and using it wisely and joyfully.
I like how he weaves in the emotional aspect. It's not just about attracting money, but about cultivating a positive and joyful relationship with it.
It is about the energy we bring to our finances. And a key part of that is releasing any fear of lack, trusting that money will always return increased and multiplied.
That's a powerful affirmation, especially for those of us who've been conditioned to worry about money.
He reminds us that the Lord is our shepherd and we shall not want. It's about cultivating that deep sense of trust in the universe's unwavering support.
That brings to mind something we touched on earlier, the idea of receiving abundance with joy. How does Barker address that in his treatment?
He emphasizes being open to receiving money from any direction, whether it's a gift, a raise in unexpected opportunity, or even a free lunch from a friend.
So it's not just about working hard and earning money, but about recognizing that abundance can manifest in countless ways.
Absolutely. It's about shifting our mindset from striving to allowing. When we're open to receiving, we create more space for abundance to flow into our lives.
Makes sense. It's almost like saying yes to the universe's generosity. But I'm curious, how does Barker address the skepticism some people might have about these ideas? It all sounds a bit too good to be true, right?
He acknowledges that his perspective might seem unusual or even contradictory to some, but he encourages us to experiment with these principles and see what results we experience.
So it's about being open-minded, trying it out, and seeing if it resonates with our own experience.
Exactly. He also emphasizes the importance of not judging or criticizing others for their wealth.
You mean even if we believe they acquired it through dishonest means?
Yes. Barker believes that judging others for their wealth, even if we perceive it as ill-gotten, only reinforces our own sense of lack.
So instead of focusing on the perceived injustices of others' financial situations, we should concentrate on cultivating our own abundance.
Precisely. It's about shifting our focus from scarcity to abundance, from judgment to acceptance, and from fear to trust.
It's about taking responsibility for our own financial reality and recognizing that we have the power to change it. That's incredibly empowering.
It is. And one of the most powerful ways to claim that power is by understanding the role of our subconscious mind in shaping our financial experiences.
That's something we've touched on throughout this deep dive. But how exactly do our subconscious beliefs impact our financial reality? Can you give me a concrete example?
Let's say someone grew up hearing their parents constantly worry about money,
Yeah.
saying things like, "We can't afford that," or "Money doesn't grow on trees."
Yeah.
Those messages repeated over time can become embedded in the subconscious mind, creating a belief that money is scarce and hard to come by.
Even if they consciously desire wealth and abundance, that underlying belief of scarcity could be sabotaging their efforts.
Exactly. It's like having a hidden program running in the background, influencing their financial decisions, their spending habits, and even their ability to attract opportunities.
So if we want to change our financial reality, we need to rewrite that subconscious program.
Precisely. And that's where the power of affirmations and visualizations comes in. By consciously choosing positive thoughts and beliefs about money and repeatedly reinforcing them, we can start to reprogram our subconscious minds.
So instead of affirming scarcity, we start affirming abundance.
Exactly. Instead of saying, "I can't afford that," we might say, "I am open to receiving abundance in all forms." Or instead of focusing on debt, we might visualize ourselves financially free and abundant.
It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we want to create.
Precisely. It's about aligning our energy with the frequency of abundance.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense, but I have to admit I'm still a bit wary of affirmations. They can feel a bit woo-woo sometimes.
Does Barker offer any practical advice for making them more effective?
He does. He emphasizes the importance of not just repeating affirmations mindlessly, but of embodying them with feeling and conviction.
So it's not just about saying the words, but about really feeling the truth of them.
Exactly. Barker suggests visualizing yourself already living in the reality you're affirming. Feel the emotions, the joy, the gratitude, as if it's already happening.
So it's about engaging our imagination and our emotions to create a more powerful energetic alignment with our desires.
Yes. It's about creating a vibrational match to the reality we want to attract. That makes a lot of sense. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about feeling and embodying those positive beliefs.
And Barker reminds us that consistency is key. Repeating affirmations regularly, even if we don't fully believe them at first, helps to reprogram our subconscious minds and shift our energy towards abundance.
So it's like planting seeds in our minds and nurturing them with consistent attention and care until they blossom.
Precisely. And he suggests incorporating affirmations into our daily routines, perhaps writing them down, repeating them while meditating, or even placing them in visible spots around our homes.
Those are great practical tips. It's about making affirmations a conscious and consistent part of our lives.
It is. And he encourages us to be patient with ourselves. Changing deeply ingrained beliefs takes time and effort.
So don't get discouraged if we don't see immediate results.
Exactly. Trust the process, stay committed to your practice, and celebrate every step forward.
That's encouraging. It's a reminder that cultivating abundance is a journey, not a destination.
It is. And Barker offers a powerful quote to inspire us along the way. Both riches and honor come of thee, and thou rulest over all. And in thy hand is power and might, and in thy hand it is to make great and to give strength unto all.
Wow, that's beautiful. It reminds us that we are not separate from the source of all abundance.
Yeah.
We have the power within us to create a life of richness and fulfillment.
Absolutely. And that power is amplified when we align ourselves with a higher purpose, use our resources wisely, and cultivate a mindset of gratitude and generosity.
This has been such a rich and insightful exploration of Barker's work. We've covered so much ground, from the concept of money as spiritual energy to practical techniques for attracting wealth and abundance.
It's been a fascinating deep dive. And in the final part, we'll explore even more of Barker's insights and practical tips for attracting wealth and abundance.
I'm eager to hear more. And for our listeners, get ready for some actionable strategies you can start implementing right away to shift your relationship with money and unlock your full potential for prosperity. Welcome back to our deep dive into Raymond Charles Barker's Money is God in Action. We've explored the concept of money as a spiritual energy, the role of subconscious beliefs, and the power of affirmations and visualizations. What else does Barker have in store for us on this journey to financial abundance?
Well, one of the key takeaways from Barker's work is the idea that true wealth goes beyond material possessions.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of aligning our financial goals with our spiritual values and using our resources to make a positive impact on the world.
So it's not just about accumulating money for its own sake, but about using it as a force for good.
Exactly. Barker believes that when we align our financial goals with our spiritual purpose, we tap into a deeper source of motivation and fulfillment.
Makes sense. When we're driven by something bigger than ourselves, it energizes our efforts in a way that simply chasing money can't.
Absolutely.
Right.
And he offers some practical advice on how to integrate this principle into our lives.
Okay.
He suggests asking ourselves questions like, how can I use my resources to make a difference in the world?
Okay.
Or what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind?
Those are powerful questions.
Yeah,
They encourage us to think beyond our immediate needs and consider the ripple effect of our financial choices.
exactly. And Barker believes that when we live with this kind of intentionality, we attract more abundance into our lives
Okay.
because we're aligning ourselves with a higher purpose.
So it's about more than just manifesting material wealth.
Yeah.
It's about aligning our finances with our values and using money as a tool for positive change.
Precisely. And he offers a powerful affirmation to support this mindset.
Okay.
I am a channel for divine abundance,
Mm-hmm.
and I use my resources to bless the world.
I love that affirmation. It really captures the essence of using money as a force for good. But I'm curious, does Barker address the potential pitfalls of focusing on abundance? Could it lead to greed or materialism?
He does acknowledge that risk,
Okay.
but he emphasizes the importance of discerning between true abundance and the insatiable pursuit of more.
So how do we strike that balance? How do we cultivate abundance without falling into the trap of greed?
Barker suggests regularly checking in with our motivations.
Okay.
Are we driven by a desire to hoard wealth for ourselves?
Right.
Or are we motivated by a desire to make a positive impact?
So it's about being mindful of our intentions and ensuring they align with our highest values.
Exactly. And he reminds us that true abundance is not about accumulating an excessive amount of possessions,
Right.
but about experiencing a richness in all areas of our life, our relationships, our health, our spiritual connection, and our ability to contribute to the world.
That's a beautiful definition of abundance. It
Yeah.
encompasses so much more than just financial wealth.
It does. And Barker believes that when we cultivate this holistic sense of abundance, it naturally flows into all areas of our lives, including our finances.
I love that. It's about creating a life of richness and fulfillment, not just a fat bank account. But I have to admit, I'm still a bit wary of affirmations. They can feel a bit woo-woo sometimes. Does Barker offer any practical advice for making them more effective?
He does. He emphasizes the importance of not just repeating affirmations mindlessly,
Okay.
but of embodying them with feeling and conviction.
So it's not just about saying the words,
Right.
but about really feeling the truth of them.
Exactly. Barker suggests visualizing yourself already living in the reality you're affirming. Feel the emotions, the joy, the gratitude as if it's already happening.
So it's about engaging our imagination and our emotions to create a more powerful, energetic alignment with our desires.
Yes, it's about creating a vibrational match to the reality we want to attract.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about feeling and embodying those positive beliefs.
And Barker reminds us that consistency is key. Repeating affirmations regularly, even if we don't fully believe them at first, helps to reprogram our subconscious minds and shift our energy towards abundance.
So it's like planting seeds in our minds and nurturing them with consistent attention and care until they blossom.
Precisely. And he suggests incorporating affirmations into our daily routines, perhaps writing them down, repeating them while meditating, or even placing them in visible spots around our homes.
Those are great practical tips. It's about making affirmations a conscious and consistent part of our lives.
It is, and he encourages us to be patient with ourselves.
Okay.
Changing deeply ingrained beliefs takes time and effort.
So don't get discouraged if we don't see immediate result.
Exactly. Trust the process, stay committed to your practice, and celebrate every step forward.
That's encouraging. It's a reminder that cultivating abundance is a journey, not a destination.
It is. And Barker offers a powerful quote to inspire us along the way.
Okay.
Both riches and honor come of thee, and thou rulest over all. And in thy hand is power and might, and in my hand it is to make great and to give strength unto all.
Wow, that's beautiful. It reminds us that we are not separate from the source of all abundance. We have the power within us to create a life of richness and fulfillment.
Absolutely. And that power is amplified when we align ourselves with a higher purpose, use our resources wisely, and cultivate a mindset of gratitude and generosity.
This has been such a rich and insightful exploration of Barker's work. We've covered so much ground, from the concept of money as a spiritual energy to practical techniques for attracting wealth and abundance.
It's been a fascinating deep dive, and I hope our listeners have gained some valuable insights and practical tools to shift their relationship with money and create a life of greater prosperity and fulfillment.
I know I have. This deep dive has challenged me to rethink my own beliefs about money and to approach my finances with a greater sense of intentionality and purpose.
That's wonderful to hear. Remember, you have the power to shape your financial reality. Choose abundance. Choose joy. Choose to believe in the limitless possibilities that await you.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Raymond Charles Barker's Money is God in Action. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration of money and spirituality, and that you'll continue to dive deep into the topics that spark your curiosity and inspire you to create a life of greater purpose and abundance